Hey guys, I just finished watching a few of Steph Case Files videos about Suzie Skinner and Chris Skinner's death. And oh man, I'm so angry. After listening to that, I just felt like there was just so much incompetence, or maybe it sounded like so much corruption, that I just felt more angry for Chris Skinner than anything. Like when you think about, when you listen to the police officer in these videos, the police officer literally was so rude to the family members. Like the family members lost a son and a brother, and then he has the audacity to say, well, what do you want me to do about it? What do you want us to do about it? Well, I would assume that you would do your job. Like, what do you think that they came to you for? Why do you think that they are sharing with you that there's a lot of things that she lied about in this case? And then in the end, after all those interviews, and then the cop goes to interview Susie, he sides with her, and then he says, oh, this will all blow over. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I understand what you're going through. Maybe it's a tactic, but I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. And it was heartbreaking listening to Chris Skinner's dad say, you're not going to do anything about this. None of you, just going to let him get away with it. That was probably the most and then Chris's mom said it too. They're both divorced. I thought it was interesting that both of them said the same thing in separate interviews. When they asked them both the question, what do you want us to do about this? And she knew, his mom knew right then and there, or she felt it, in her gut. You're not going to do anything. You're going to let him get away with it. That was so heartbreaking. This whole case is truly heartbreaking. And in every way that you hear everything about this. The kids, when you hear the kids and when they came to their aunt, I thought it was interesting that Susie had already, she had something already made up, in case she brought up her kids, and she was saying she was bothering like, my kids, I don't want my kids to find out about this. Your kids already know, and you were in their face about your affair with JP when they caught you making out with him. What kind of a mother? Like, your husband just died, and you can't give your kids a second to breathe and take this all in. That literally, I don't know if that it was that month, but you take the kids out with JP to go skiing, and they catch you making out. Like, seriously, the kids just lost their dad. And from what it sounded like, they were very close with their dad. You can tell in those photos of their children with their dad that they love their dad. And then when the kids found out who their mom was kissing, when they caught her, it wasn't just anyone. JP, the guy that Chris hated, the guy that she was cheating on her husband with while they were married, he told people he hated that guy. Any chance that he would get, when somebody would bring up the church, he would say, I hate that guy. I don't go to that church anymore. My wife goes to that church. My kids go to that church. That's their church. That's not my church. And can you imagine, like, being those kids, knowing this after their dad died, witnessing this is the guy my dad killed himself over, and he's making out with my mom, telling us that he's getting her drunk and going to take advantage of her in the other room. And then your mom has the audacity to yell at you and tell you, it's my life, I'm going to do whatever I want. I took care of him for 20 years. I want to have fun. I can't even imagine what those, I imagine those children are angry and probably hate their mom. I mean, I wouldn't blame them if they did. And their dad was a motivational speaker. And I mean, what she put Chris through of not caring for him for 2 years and being a quadriplegic I feel like that could, I don't know how anyone would be able to want to hold on to life. That would obviously give you a clue that they don't care anymore about you and they're off with their lover somewhere. Truly is so sad all around. I feel so sad for those children. I sympathize so much for those kids. I sympathize so much for them in this whole thing. It's just, it's truly heartbreaking. And Susie don't give a damn. Susie only, like she said, like she told her kids, I took care of him for 20 years. It's my time to have fun. Like, this is that's what she's saying. That's what she's saying. Like, I don't care. Like she said in the interview with the cop, which blew my mind. Like, literally, case is closed. She just told you. She told the coroner and the police officer, okay, well, yeah, he did say that if he was going to kill himself, this is the way he was going to do it. He was going to drive his wheelchair into the pool. Okay, well, case is closed. He did it. He did do that. And she withheld that information. She literally said, I could not believe she said, whatever, I don't even care. I don't even care. It doesn't even matter. Whatever. It doesn't even, he's in heaven now. Why does this even matter? What? Like, imagine if a criminal who was a murderer was like, why does it even matter? Who cares? Whatever. It doesn't even matter. They're in heaven now. Case is solved. You're right. They're in heaven. Why are we even talking about this? Let's just let this go. What? Oh my gosh. It's so mind-blowing. She has hung out with JP way too long. Listening to Susie's interview, you could tell the things that she was saying was things that JP and a lawyer had told her in case, they were going to ask these questions. These are all my thoughts and opinions, but I think that I just think this whole case with the FBI watching it, and then you watch the cops in this whole scenario from the beginning until now, it just shows like how much incompetence is in this South Carolina. I've never seen anything like it, and I'm sure the FBI is probably thinking how absurd this is. Like, yeah, who cares? She's a mom. She needs the $50,000. Who cares if she's being a little skeezy and breaking the law and doing some fraudulent stuff? Who cares about the law? Like, she's a mom. She's a single mom. She had to take care of that guy for 20 years. She deserves to have fun. What? Like, what in the heck did I just listen to? Literally, that guy literally just became a detective or a cop, or he said he was new. I couldn't believe I heard something like that. Why would you say that? Why would you say that to a family member, the mom. What is wrong with you? Take a sensitivity course. And it was just like, this guy is it just felt really slimy to me. And it just made me sick to my stomach. But when I was listening to the coroner, I could tell she was a little bit annoyed, about at the family, and why didn't they come to her about all this? Well, usually the cops, they go to the family. Even though it's so absurd to me, usually cops do their due diligence, and they go after people, and they go find, okay, she's saying there's no family. Well, I'm gonna, usually cops like, oh, let me look into it, because that's what cops are. They question everything. You shouldn't just believe somebody, which is an easy mistake to make. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, because, when a Susie comes rolling in, she's the caretaker of her husband for 20 years. And you think this person must be an angel. She took care of her husband, who's been a quadriplegic for 20 years. And she did all the things to take care of him. You assume that. Which we find out she wasn't doing that the last 2 years of their marriage. She assumes that she's taking very good care of him for the past 20 years. And then she comes in there with a pastor. He loves to tell everybody that he meets and reminds them, I'm a pastor. I'm a pastor. Well, yeah, I'm a pastor. Yeah, I'm a pastor of a church. So you assume, you automatically, and that's an easy mistake to make, that, a woman who comes off as a sweet caretaker who goes to church, and then she comes in there with her pastor and his wife, that these are good people. Well, looking at this case, I feel like that it's that saying, never judge a book by its cover. And this is a very good example, sadly. And yeah, it's just sad all around. And I wonder if those kids feel that same way, like probably have thought, like, my mom is an angel. My mom is such an amazing woman. She's taken care of our dad and loved him and has been with him our whole lives. And then when their dad passes away, things just kind of just dawns on them. They realize, wait a moment, mom's been having an affair this whole time. Like, we saw them fooling around at the soccer games. And then after their dad dying, they find him making out with their moms. And then you have the audacity, JP has the audacity to, this is the scariest thing, has the audacity to flaunt to the kids, getting their mom drunk, saying, I'm going to take her home. Who says that to a teenager? I got your mom drunk. I took her out for drinks. She's drunk. I'm going to take her home. And the kids are saying, no, she's coming home with us. Get away from our mom. What in the world? What kind of a pastor, what kind of a person is this? I mean, we all know who JP is. And I feel like this whole scenario has taught us the type of person who Susie is. I mean, she got an insurance policy out on Chris Skinner 2 years before his death. And 2 years before, within 2 years of having insurance policy on your spouse, if they commit suicide, you can't get the money for that. So her saying it was an accident, she got something. $50,000 is not a lot, especially during these times, but she got something. What disgusts me so much was the cop validating Susie to the family of Chris Skinner, saying, yeah, she should have the money. She deserves the money. She's a mom. What the heck? What in the world? I don't think I will, I don't think anyone would be okay after hearing that. I would feel sick if I was Chris Skinner's mom and sister and hearing the cop say that. I would feel like that, yeah, she's going to get away with it. They're going to get away with it. And you would think the cop, knowing that there's an FBI, the FBI is involved, the FBI is not going to see any of this or hear any of all of this. It's not going to get back to them. Like, did you not think before you spoke? Did you not think before you said anything in that interview? It was just so absurd to me. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video and rant and hear what you guys had to say, because I am so annoyed. I am so annoyed about all this. I am so mad on behalf of Chris and his family. How disgusting. And I'm not going to say, I'm just so disgusted. I'm so angry for them. I'm so angry. And then we all found out that JP and Susie got married. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen. We all have been talking about it since, like, the moment Micah passed away, that they both were probably going to get married to cover each other's butts. Anyways, he's like the most, in my opinion, he is probably the most grotesque person, I have ever heard of in true crime. This is the craziest true crime story I have ever heard of in my entire life, and I've heard some crazy stories, but this one just keeps getting crazier and crazier.